Greetings everybody, this is Surfing451 again. Found out that my original cut for this list was an hour long, and apparently YouTube cut the video too short. But I'm gonna remake the list anyway, into separate parts, which I think is the best option for me right now. Okay. I might as well get the first 5 off the... I don't want to make it 5. The first 10 off the list. So, number 45 is The Hobbit, which is the live-action version. I'm counting all 3 because I have so much history with Tolkien. I've researched the Silmarillion. I first tried to read The Hobbit in middle school when I first heard of it, thanks to the anime Rankin Mass film. But towards the film itself, I love how beautifully shot it was, how the visuals were just gorgeous, how it followed the book, and how the actors portrayed the characters, how they were in the book, and how beautiful it was. And even though they added some things from different books, it's still a great film, and I'm still going to count all 3 films as one great film. Number 44 is Chronicle. I love that it's the way it's shot, how the characters are portrayed, and how what a great character piece it is. How one character is evolved to a certain point, and how his character progression ends very tragically for him. That's what I love about the film. Number 43 is Basic Instinct, one of my favorite thrillers. I love how the main character is trying to solve this murder case, and how it's based off of some murders that happen in a couple books that one of the characters wrote in the film, and it's a very good film. And how and also the censoring of this film can be pretty hilarious when you look at the special features, especially if you have it on DVD. It's hilarious, and that's what I love about that film. Number 42 is Repo, the Genetic Opera. I love this film with every fiber of my being. It's a great rock opera. It's one of those great films that just is so entertaining, and the music's good. Anthony Stewart Head is an awesome actor. It's a good film. It's a great blend of opera, rock, horror, comedy. Just, in certain parts are actually pretty hilarious, and all that crazy jazz. And also, it's a beautifully made film. The scenery is great, the story is great, the characters are great, villains are villains, heroes are anti-heroes, all that stuff. Number 41 is Super 8, a good sci-fi film. I love Super 8 for being a great little sci-fi film where the characters are great. The story itself is good. They didn't reveal the aliens till towards the end of the film, and that's a good option if you want to go that way, because there's a motif in especially in horror, you don't show off your monster right away. You make the audience imagination, because whatever we think of in our heads is 10 times as worse what we see on screen. And that's a good motif. I like that. I like that concept. Your imagination's worse than the monster you're about to see. Even though that can be kind of disappointing, but it works that way, especially if it's in Jaws. It's really good. It's a good sci-fi film by J.J. Abrams. Why not? Number 40 is Expendables II. I like it because it's a cheesy action flick. I like how they took the greatest action stars from the 80s up till now. It's a great cheesy action film that reminds me of the 80s, and even though I was born in the 80s, it reminds me of 80s action films, and it's awesome. Number 39 is Brave, one of the weakest Pixar films, but it's beautifully animated, and the characters are great. Even though the story's weak, the characters are great. It makes me appreciate the film because these characters are great. Especially the main character, Merida. She is a good character. Number 38 is Superbad. I love Superbad. A superficial reason for that, it came out on my birthday. And what better way to have celebrate your birthday than to go see a movie? I didn't get the chance to see the movie when it came out on my birthday, but that's kind of sad for me. But also, it's a funny comedy. Especially the unrated version was actually pretty funny. And let's get to another one. Number 37, Spirited Away. A great, beautiful film that I'm thankful to have seen, and I saw it in an art class. It's a beautiful film. The characters are great. The story itself is great. It makes me want to make a film like that, because I want to be a filmmaker for my career. I want to make a film like that, how it's so beautiful in that way. It just inspires me to make films like it. It's an inspiration to me. Number 36 is Alexander, one of the greatest biopics of one of my personal heroes. I love Alexander the Great. Alexander's a good film. Colin Farrell it plays Alexander quite well, but the Alexander is so masculine in his appearance that even though the weird blonde haircut doesn't work for me on Colin Farrell, he did an admirable job playing Alexander. It's a great film too. And number 35 is Halloween. I love this film because it's one of those staples of the slasher horror genre. And it's also a great film. John Carpenter made a very great film when it comes to this particular horror film. He created the character of Michael Myers, even though he doesn't like it how every iteration of Halloween, except for Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, has Michael Myers as the antagonist. But Michael Myers is one of those great horror protagonists. And also, Miss Strode, who is the protagonist of the film, is a great female lead. And the gore is handled tastefully. It doesn't go it's not too excessive. And I'm talking about the original here, it's just a good film. Speaking of things that should have never been remade, is Let the Right One In. The original version of this film is a spectacular film. Even though it's subtitled, it shouldn't need an Americanized version. That kind of annoys me. But that's just my opinion, and I'm sharing that with you here. It's a great film. It's a great vampire film. And it's a great story. Great characters. It's a great film. The way it was shot was good. The story itself was great. It's one of those great vampire stories that doesn't suck. Don't mind the pun. But it's a good one. It's a good vampire film that everyone should check out. Even though it's subtitled, you can still enjoy it. Number 33 is State of Play, starring Russell Crowe and Ben Affleck. That's a good film too. Even though it's based off of a British miniseries, which I've yet to watch for myself, but this film is great because it crafts a great mystery. It's a great thriller, great mystery. Russell Crowe plays a reporter trying to figure out the death of this woman connected to Ben Affleck's character, and the two characters themselves, the reporter and the politician, which are Crowe and Affleck respectively, are friends. They know each other previously, and it's a great film in that aspect. And all that cool jazz. Number 32 is The Sorcerers Apprentice, which is a great live-action Disney film. A bit underrated, even though most people think it's horrible. It has great villains. It has Nick Cage playing a sorcerer, which I think is one of his best portrayals other than Big Daddy. And also he's the worst Ghost Rider. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. But he performs well. His performance is great in this film. His character has gravitas. He has a good character. He has good character progression, and the main character is a pretty funny guy. I kind of like him. And also, the film was made well, and the special effects, especially the magic scenes, are really cool. And number 31 is Labyrinth, one of those great fantasy films of the 80s. That's so great. David Bowie's a great role as the Goblin King is great. Jennifer Connelly is great as the female lead. Just the story itself. Her character trying to get her brother back from the Goblin King because she wishes that someone were to take her brother away, and she has to learn a lesson at the end, which is okay by me. It's okay by me. And it's just a good film. Number 30, and this is the last one I'm going to leave off, is Batman Under the Red Hood. It's a good film. I love Batman Under the Red Hood. One of the greatest Batman films, even though it's animated. And what I love about Under the Red Hood is that it's, in its core, it's the main debate between Red Hood, which is Jason Todd coming back from the dead, and Batman. How they view their crime fighting. Jason wants to kill the Joker, and he doesn't understand why Batman didn't kill him in retaliation of Jason's death. And Batman, Bruce, he's saying, if I were to kill him, what would stop me from killing Two-Face or Scarecrow? And that's an interesting. It's the battle of ideologies that I like in this film. And Joker, played by John DiMaggio, who's the voice of Bender in Futurama, he's a commendable voice for the Joker. Jensen Ackles plays Jason Todd, which I think is the perfect voice cast. And Bruce Greenwood plays a great Batman. I love his voice for Batman, but no one can surpass Kevin Conroy as Batman, but Bruce Greenwood is a close second, what I imagine Batman's voice being like. And so I'm going to stop right here and film the second or third parts for this list. I hope you enjoyed the list so far. This has been Serpentine421 saying peace, and just wait for the rest of the list.